Hi there, good morning. Hello, hello. How are you? Thank you for joining. I want that smaller. And I'm not liking that. Hi there. How's your day going so far? Okay, so maybe I can just move this up a tiny bit, and then I'll duplicate and bring this down. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that would be great. It will help tell the algorithm that you may or may not enjoy being here. And I started this project the other day, so I'm just continuing to work on it now. I'm going to fill up the rest of these shelves for the bookcase, and then I might put a chair here or something. And then I'm definitely going to have like a plant or something. I'm still deciding. I think maybe having like a bat, an upside down bat would be good. So do some feet here. Maybe have the feet closer. I need that. Take off my snapping and magnets. I'm gonna draw my bat this way. Okay. Hate this wing. Hi, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. So I'm just going to grab this wing and copy it. Flip horizontally, and now I have the wings. I might make the bat smaller, but I'm just gonna get the shape first. Okay, now I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. Hello, hello, welcome, good morning. And I will do a line here and some teeth. And I think maybe like a pink book of some kind here would be good. I might do, I think if I keep it small, okay. I'm gonna move this one over. And I'm going to grab, actually, well, I can do it. It's going to be a pain in the butt because I did combine all these layers, but that's okay. So cut and paste, going to, not that, okay, there. Going to grab these as best I can without disrupting the painting. I only have to repaint a tiny bit, so I'm not too worried. And then, connect, and then swipe with 3 fingers down, and eventually you will get, there you go, cut and paste. So now I have this, and I can move it over. I might put it like here. I can shrink it a little bit. I can also flip it horizontally if I want. Still deciding, do I want it like this? I think I like it over on this side. Do that there. And I'll just real quick tidy up this spot so I don't need these lines here. All right, and then I can just come over here. All right. Hi. Oh no, you're good. One thing I need to get better about is like finding a schedule that works, but it's just hard because some of my days are just not predictable yet. I'll get there though. So I think I'm gonna do a cauldron here. And then I will have something with, I'll probably put one of these pink colors inside the cauldron and then some sort of book situation here, or maybe some books back here and something in here. I haven't decided. Maybe a couple of like bottles in a row would be cute. How are you doing this morning? Hi, hey, welcome. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Hello, hello. Obviously no pressure, but if you guys could give this a thumbs up, that would help. And even if you don't have anyone to share this to, if you could press the share and copy link, that would help. But no pressure. there's nothing worse than when you feel obligated to do something, and I don't want anyone to feel obligated to do that. Hello guys, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna do a new layer just in case I don't like the way this turns out, but I'm thinking some bubbles. And then maybe some magical swirls. Let's see. I think that looks okay. Hi, hello guys. Thank you so much for joining. How's everybody doing? If you're new here, my name is Bree. I am a digital artist. I make tutorials. And let's see, I've been doing digital painting for 15 years. And I love connecting with other artists and teaching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so we've got that. All right, I'm going to consider that done for now. I'm going to put so right now, this layer here, I'm going to put something behind the vine, so I'm going to select a new layer by hitting the plus sign, so that what I draw here will end up behind these details. Now let's see. I'll do a light pink here. And I should hopefully, obviously, you know, you never know what's going to happen in a day, but I should hopefully have a tutorial out on this design with the hats and the floral pieces. Should have that out today. What am I doing? Sorry. My brain was like, nope, forgot what we were doing. Okay, and then maybe like a light blue back here. Okay. And now I can do a design on the books. I'm going to add a new layer to start, and I'm going to make a clipping mask, so that way if I end up not liking the design, I can easily erase it without worrying about it just being impeded by having to repaint anything. Let's see, I'm going to probably works. Go like that now. Hi, hello, hello. Oh, thank you so much. It's funny that you say that. I don't feel like I have an art style, but I do feel like this is becoming one of the styles that I tend to use. I do use it in these, right? And then one of the ones, like this one definitely has that similar style. It's the same brush that I'm using now. So I kind of oscillate between more like realism type and then also this illustration type. So I would say I have like two different things going on. But thank you. I'm glad you like it. I enjoy this very much. Hi, hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you haven't given this video live stream a thumbs up, consider doing so. And if you haven't pressed the share button and copy link, also consider. That'd be awesome. I'm going to paint in a few leaves over here. Grab this and do the oak leaf. And go like that. Oh, no, it's definitely the lighter one that I used. And yes, I have sound effects that I make for my art sometimes. Hi, hello. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try some different like jars. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Sometimes it sounds like a good idea, and then you find out it's not what you thought it was gonna be. So I want to do some, hopefully, like different types of shapes. I think what I do like about this style is like the texture and the forgiving nature of it doesn't have to be perfect, That's something I've been working on for a really long time, is letting go of perfectionism, because it really did prevent me from just like completing my work, but then also enjoying, the process of my work. Some glare on there. Are you guys digital artists, traditional artists? Just hanging out, that's also acceptable. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, sorry, that scared me. It's my diffuser. Thank you, diffuser. Okay, I want like a, let's see. Like a beaker, is that what I'm thinking? But I also want it to overlap a little bit, so move it over. And that kind of works with the line that was there, so I'll just leave that. And then I like both, but I usually just go with my tablet. I like to draw with pencil, colored gel pens. Ooh, I have on my wish list for Christmas gel pens. Yes. And I too tend to go for my tablet, but I have gouache, I have watercolor, I have acrylic. I have so many craft supplies. I have like resin for resin art. Those are the ones I have out now. I used to do stuff like card making with the little, I'm trying to think of what they're called. It's been a while. Done like wreath making. I've done lots of different crafts and art. I do photography. I love photographs of like nature. Nature's like my safe place. Okay, I'm gonna make one more, maybe like a bigger one back here. Make it more of like a square, rectangle-ish. I really want to get back into like, I wouldn't call it sculpting, but like clay. I like the like clay earrings and stuff like that. I had a lot of fun. I had like a sculpting class in college, and I really liked doing that. Maybe with this one I can have some sort of like, I don't know, label. I just don't know. I'll do that, and I'll at least have some of these have some color liquid in them, but not all of them. So let's try one that's like, that pink. I like to sew. Oh, I love sewing. You made a hoodie? Okay, that's impressive. When I say I like sewing, I mean like I like to make small things. Hoodie is awesome. Man, good for you. Sewing is no joke. Ooh, you know what's something else I really want to get into is like cross stitch. I think that's right, cross stitching or whatever. Oh my god. So many good things, so many different types of art. I know that if I'm not creating or being creative, like my mood and like my mental health definitely goes down. It's something that I have finally figured out about myself, so I know that like no matter what's going on, I have to find something creative to like put my energy into. I tried crocheting but got mad because it didn't work. I've done both knitting and crochet, and it definitely it can definitely be very challenging and frustrating. That is for sure. It's obviously something I didn't stick with for very long, but I float from like hobby to hobby a lot. It's probably like the ADHD. I get really invested in something, hyperfixate on it, and then I'm like, that was cool, and then I'm like, okay, what's next? Which can be both fun and infuriating for those around me. Like in my head, I'm like, I know what I should do. Like I've just gotten a strange like bug up my butt once in a while, and I've just a couple years ago, for example, our stairs had carpet, and I've never done anything with flooring or stairs, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pull the carpet and I'll figure it out. And I watched lots of YouTube videos, did lots of research, and I figured out how to redo my own stairs. So they're wood now. But I just decided one day I hated the carpet and I wanted to redo it, so. And okay, I think I'll do it on this one. I'm gonna have like a leaf down here just to add some of this color in. I have so many unfinished projects just floating around my room. Yeah, that's definitely me. I used to feel so much like frustration and like shame about it. I don't know, like I'm not trying to project that on you. If you don't feel anything negative about it, good for you, awesome. But I always was like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I finish anything? And just realizing that I have like, executive dysfunction, and I have I have a lot of different, I have like OCD, and agoraphobia. I have, my dad has ADHD and my son has ADHD, so I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I think it runs on my side of the family. So just sort of realizing like it's, it's not a character flaw. It just means that I have to, give myself grace, and, I'll come back to something, and, I just take my time with it. I think I got shamed a lot when I was younger, like, oh, you never finish anything, or oh, you pick something up but you never complete it kind of attitude. And I do end up completing it eventually, and I just had to realize like it's nothing wrong with me, it's just how I function. And the more that I was shamed for it, the less likely I actually was going to come back to it. So learning that about myself and just giving myself lots of compassion and understanding has made it a lot easier to come back to projects that I've left unfinished. I wouldn't even say they're unfinished at this point. They're just on a pause. They're on a pause. They'll be finished. They will. Okay. I played over 300 hours of Animal Crossing but felt burnt out. Now I can't bring myself to play it even if I like doing it. Any tips? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I got the new Zelda like for the Nintendo Switch. I think it was last year for my birthday, and I played it for like maybe a month, and then I just, yeah, like the dopamine was no longer dopamining. And so I just put it down, and I literally just came back to it. I think, maybe it's just step away and wait until the mood strikes, and, not worry about it being in a certain time frame. Hi, hello. I usually just stick to something for like 1 month. That's usually what I do too. I get fixated on something, and then before I know it, I've lost interest. But it sneaks up on me because I'll be like so focused on it. It's my whole world. And then out of nowhere, I'm like, meh. Okay, so I think these all go together now. For some reason, somewhere, I have these flowers over here. It's fine. You can stay, guys. You can stay. Oh, thank you so much. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, I am going to, now I have to like paint these like half the size. I think it'd be fine. And do white. And I mean, it's totally like, there's nothing wrong with getting, stuck to something. It's also okay if you quickly move. There's no like wrong way. It's about enjoyment, right? It's life. We're supposed to enjoy it. Let's, you know, like, let's not judge ourselves needlessly over, you know, those things. If it bothers you, work on it. Other than that, enjoy the journey. There's so much self-judgment. There's so much criticism from others, you know, like, it's just, what a waste of energy and time in the long run, you know? And that's easier to say than it is to deal with. I came from a really emotionally abusive and volatile home, and there was lots of criticism, and that's an example of, you know, not being able to escape it was very emotionally taxing. But once I was able to get away from it and start building my own life and a better relationship with myself, you know, I realized how pointless the self-judgment and putting unnecessary expectations on myself, there, you know, things that there's just no need. Everyone's going to do things differently, you know, and different doesn't mean bad. Oh, no, you're totally fine. May I ask what your first language is? I have not noticed, by the way, that you are still learning English. I didn't even notice. Let's see. Okay, maybe like top of a bottle down here. I'm really sad. My grandmother was from Portugal, and she raised me, and her mother was from Portugal. She was the first generation out of Portugal. And they used to speak Portuguese all the time in the house. And but after my great grandmother passed away, it just wasn't used as often. And I'm like really sad that I like grew out of speaking and understanding it. You know, I had it as a kid, but you know, when you don't use it. Ooh, from Chile. Very cool. I've not been, but I would love to go to Chile one day. Earlier, someone said to put mouse in a hole. Ooh. Down here would be cool. What's the weather like in Chile? Like right now? This week is our first week where it's finally feeling like fall. It's been incredibly hot and humid. So thankfully, it's starting to turn around. Yesterday was like one of those days where I'm like, oh my, like I actually could consider this a nice chilly day. And it was by no means cold. It was still in the 70s, but it's been in the 80s and even 90s, close to the 90s with humidity. So I was like, thank you. been teaching myself English. Oh, wow, good for you. English is a hard language. It makes no sense. So definitely good for you. I had a friend, she was a foreign exchange student in high school, and she was from Germany. And I swear her English was better than most Americans. I couldn't believe like how good at English she was. I was like, this is a problem. We need to get better at our own language. Oh. I took Japanese in high school and in my first year of college. And like I liked that, but also there's not really too much of use for it in my current life. I wish I had taken something like Spanish just because I feel like that would have been more practical in general. But I mean, it was a cool experience, and like I loved it. But still, in the long run, now several years later, I'm like, I probably should have chose a little different, but that's okay. Is it like spring? It's not cold here. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. It's like spring weather for you guys. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. And now I just got to figure out something for over here before I add in like vines and flowers. I was just thinking about Florida. I hope everyone's okay. I have a couple friends there. One of them, thankfully, their only damage that they had was that their fence fell down, so that's good. That's good. I have another one that's lost their power and it's not come back on yet, so we shall see what happens. Alright, and I'm going to go on a new layer for now while I just draw in some of the smaller fine details before finalizing it. Add some like leaves. Yeah, it's been just crazy between what happened in North Carolina with the dams breaking and like just taking out people's homes, and now the hurricane. And then obviously just what's going on all over the world. Tough times. Tough times. Let's see. Put some flowers like here. I was like, I know they're somewhere. They went somewhere. Okay. And maybe I put one down here. Is that too distracting? It's not too bad. And I need this. No. I need this color. There we go. And grab the white. This one. Okay. So we've got our bookshelf filled for now. I may or may not make some adjustments, but there's enough for people to look around and go, oh, look, there's that in there. And now, I did like the idea of, maybe I'll use this gray, have like a mouse hole down here. I could have it like maybe a rat, a mouse or a rat, but I was thinking of making it white. And then I'll complete that in a second. I'm going to real quick grab this. No. I just want it on its own layer, which apparently I didn't do. Okay, there. Huh? Yeah, now I did it. Oh, thank you, thank you. My dad gifted me the Hunger Games saga in English for me to learn more English. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I also love that series, but I love that your dad did that. That's sweet. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get away with making some vines with this orange. We'll see. We will see. let's see, I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to make like an additional ledge here. I just think it would maybe help push not make it so flat looking. Like obviously it's flat, but like let's not make it too flat. And then maybe I could put something here. Maybe just like a little pumpkin. Just I'll make it even smaller than that, but just something. And then just make sure the bottom is flat so it really sits in there. Ooh, candles. Yes, great idea. Okay, I'm gonna put some here. Or maybe here. Yes, love it. Sorry, it took me a second to see that. But yes, I could always take this away, but I'm gonna keep it for now, and I'm gonna add candles. Love it. Okay, maybe start with this darker color. Okay, and then do some white. I like the bottom one better, so I'll do that design here. And then grab some of the pink to add just a little bit of color. And then I can even do maybe some like lines. We'll see. We may or may not need these, but just to further convey light is happening. And then we can also add some details of dripping wax. Sorry, it's hard for you guys probably to see. There we go. Okay. I might even have some of it drip down here. Okay, hopefully that's like coming through. And then let's let's see. I do want there to be like a tree in the background. Bear with me because I know obviously it's overlapping right now with the window pane. Okay, so I'm wondering if I can get away with any of the, yeah, like that. One of the blending modes, so that way I didn't have to erase anything. Wondering if making it this color would be more beneficial. Nope, not like that. Like this for now. Let's try. Okay, so basically if I want to do this, I want to do that, and then I would want to erase the lines. What do you guys think? That color or black? I think the black. I think the black. So make sure it's all black. There we go. And then on a new layer, let's see, I'm trying to pull off a mouse. Will go for me. I have not drawn a mouse or a rat before, so I can always look one up, but okay, no on that part, but definitely feel like it's coming around there. So let me look up the reference. Black looks the best. Okay. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Make sure you take care of yourself. And I'll see you next time, whenever that might be. Okay. So this is more like a mouse. I'm going to keep it there for a sec. I'll make it erase, but... Okay, let's see if I can do this. We're going to do face, like ear, body, leg, feel like the mouse looks better. I, however, will need to make it smaller, maybe a bit wider, and I still need to figure out the ears and stuff, so let's see. And let's see. And I'm going to do one more thing over here to balance out some of the colors. Okay. I think I'll take a couple days away from it and come back, but I feel like, yeah, like we got that part done, so that's good. Now, I started working on this yesterday. I'm gonna duplicate it because one of these I was working on like a TikTok live, so I want to make sure that I don't, for those who were with me yesterday, they don't miss out on me working on it. All right, I have my different elements now. So I'm going to put them all in a group. Minus that one, apparently. Okay. And I'm going to start by grabbing one that I want to be like my main focus. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to make things, the black things, the main events, and then everything else around them smaller for a design. It helps when we're making like repeat patterns to have varying sizes. So the hats in this one are like the main event. Then the medium shapes and sizes are the pumpkins and maybe this larger flower, as well as this too. And then we have the smaller elements, which are these little flowers, and the occasional like leaves and additional floral elements. So there tends to be more balance when you make them not all the same value. Otherwise, when they're all the same value, meaning they're all the same size or similar colors, they're going to end up competing with one another. And I can show you what I mean. I think this one, aside from the colors not being great, I think this one doesn't work as well because the shapes and the sizes are just too similar. It does have a larger medium and then small, but honestly I feel like they're still just too close together in size. I have more over here. So for example, in this one, these big cups are like the large as well as the books. Those are the two main events. And then the medium sizes are like the dandelions. and the smaller teacup and the actual tea bags themselves. But then there's the smaller elements, and then there's also the vase, which is a medium. So I think it works better when you have varying sizes. Otherwise, when you have something that has too much of the similar sizing, it just ends up competing too much for your attention. This one works fine, but it could be better in terms of pulling your attention. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out. So that's like a personal preference. There's plenty of artists out there that make everything like similar size and their patterns totally work. I just happen to prefer having some things that are bigger focal points and then medium and smaller sizes. So I duplicated the bat. I'm going to duplicate the cat and drag it out of this group eventually. And then I'm going to do the same with the hat. I'm going to duplicate, and then I'm going to move it up. This will allow me to make the other pieces hide so that I have these. In order for me to resize these without impacting the pixels too much, I do go over here, which is typically, it's the interpolation. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I think that's how it's pronounced. Bilateral, cubic, or nearest neighbor. I found that the most effective one for this brush with this detail and the texture, nearest neighbor works best, so I don't end up losing too much of the detail when I squash and stretch things. I want to make sure that my selection is on uniform so that when I stretch it, it stays uniform. Freeform's fine if you want to like stretch things or move things around, but I don't need that right now. So I want to make sure that I'm in uniform. And when you zoom in, it still has the pixelation that we're looking for, and it's not super blurred on the edges the way that it would be if I used one of the other options. Hi, hello, welcome. Were you here yesterday? Am I remembering that correctly? So for the cat, I'll show you guys an example. So here's right here, we'll look at the whiskers. So I have it on nearest neighbor, but like, let's say I did the bilinear and then I went to like stretch the cat out. If you look up close, it starts to get kind of blurred, right? It's not horrible, but it's just not ideal. So then if I wanted to do bicubic and stretch, let's do uniform, sorry, and stretch, it has that sort of fuzzy blurred effect as well. So making that smaller again. So then if I go to nearest neighbor, which is the one I prefer, and I stretch it and zoom in, it's hardly blurred and it keeps most of the pixelation the way that I had initially drawn it, which is what I prefer. Okay, so now I'm going to resize like that. And then now we have the hat. I'm going to make sure it's on nearest neighbor, and I'm going to just like tilt the hat a little bit, which means I might put this cat like, I don't know, upside down, because when we go to make it a repeat pattern, we'll be able to sort of mess around with this. So first, what I actually want to do, because I know that I won't want the repeat pattern to have everything like perfect, I am going to combine these, add a layer, move the layer beneath. I just want them in the same area though. I'm going to choose this pink color to fill this layer. The reason why I don't combine these layers is there might be a point later in the project where I actually decide that I want a different color background. So to prevent myself from being stuck with this background, I don't combine these two, but I do select them both. So now what I want to do, aside from duplicate, I'm also going to put it down here as an original, so that way in case I fudge it up, it's still there. So selecting both, I'm going to actually duplicate, so now I have two of the same. Okay. Make sure I'm on uniform, go to snapping, and what I want to do is move from right to left so that it is mathematically, you want those yellow lines to show that it is perfectly moved over. And in case you didn't know, because I didn't show you, the reason why I do that on this one, when I grab just this layer, you can see that this line doesn't go all the way to the edge of the canvas, which means that if I went to duplicate and try and make this a seamless pattern with this, mathematically it wouldn't work because it's not a perfect shape, it's not a perfect size. So by grabbing the background, which is this pink, it grabs the entire surface of the canvas, meaning that it would mathematically slide or snap into place perfectly. So now I'll be able to move this over. I'm getting all yellow lines, which means it is mathematically perfect. So now these have moved. What I want to do next is I'm going to, nope, don't select them all like that. I'm going to select this layer, bring it up here so I can combine it with that. So now they're all together. I can do the same with this pink layer and combine those. And so now I have them again. I want to duplicate. I'm going to make sure I grab. Same thing that we did before. So before we went from right to left and left to right. Now we're actually going to do bottom to top and top to bottom in whatever order you want. There's no wrong order. You just make sure that you're consistent. So for this one, we're going up. I'm getting yellow lines so I can let go. And then for this one, I'm going to grab these and move from top to bottom. Move it down, make sure it is all lining up. I'm getting the yellow lines. And now I can move this up here. And then move this one up here. So what this shows me, because I did that, is that there is space here for another item, like another black shape. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to grab the bat. And I'm going to move the bat over into this space and trying to just figure out which way to make it. I can also make it just slightly smaller, but we don't want it too much smaller so it still remains a large object. And now we see that it's much more filled out with these larger objects. So now we can start adding in the other elements and seeing how they work. So for example, I'm going to bring in this, which I should actually duplicate in case I mess it up. So duplicate that. I'm also going to do this for this book. I'm going to do the books next. And this one. And there's one more down here. Duplicate it and then slide it all the way up. All right. So now I can just focus on my next items, which I want them to be more medium size. So I'm going to shrink them just a little. I'm going to take off snapping though. There we go. And now I can find spots that they each fit in appropriately. I can grab this, put it down here, and then grab this one, and I can make it go like that. I think it should be a little bit smaller. Okay. So the cat is stretched around, and that's the point. So what I want it to end up doing by the end is become a repeating pattern, meaning that, see how the hat bleeds off the top here and the hat bleeds off here? When I go to duplicate it, I want it to mathematically perfectly come together, which leaves me with a repeating pattern. So if I were to see this here and see this here, they are connected, meaning that if I were to duplicate this and then slide it over, this would perfectly line up with here, and we'd be able to continue the pattern on. Same with top to bottom, you'd be able to do the same, right? So this part of the hat is up here. So I could just duplicate this and keep this here, but then also move another down here, and the pattern would repeat this way. So I can repeat the pattern in any direction, and it would infinitely look like this. So that is what we're going for. So the cat will end up being able to continue on. And now, okay, so I like the way those are, so I'm going to combine them onto one layer because there's only so many layers we can work in. So for the size canvas that I'm working on, how many layers am I allotted? I'm allotted 22 layers, and right now it's saying that I am using 18 of them. So that just means that I have to be mindful of how many layers I have. So for example, down here, I can get rid of this one. I don't need it because I'm already using this one up here. And that's why I ended up combining things. Okay, that makes sense. Awesome, I'm glad it makes sense. It's really hard sometimes to explain how the repeat pattern works. I do have a couple different videos on the repeat pattern if you ever wanted to try and make one. But once you understand how to do it once thoroughly, it gets so much easier. You start to really understand A, how it works, but B, how to place your objects and sort of anticipate some of the problems that might come along as we move the pieces around. So like I just shown, this bat ended up, right, we had this open space, and by moving the things around, we were able to see there's enough space for me to create a duplicate there. So next, let's do pumpkins. So here's one pumpkin batch. Move it up here. Here's another pumpkin. And okay, so those are my two pumpkins. Great. All right, I'm going to move it up in front just so I can more easily see them. And now I want to make these smaller and move them around throughout the piece. What's nice, I can duplicate them and use them in a variety of ways. I'm trying to make sure that they don't all face the same way if possible, so that way there's just a bit more feel of spontaneity within the design. That's probably enough, just given that, oh, hi computer, thank you for talking to me. Given that we have many more elements to work with, and then I also like to leave space to be able to just hand paint in some of the details. So it looks like we still have the ghost and the flowers. So let's do floral elements. No, let's do the ghost. The ghost will be harder to put in there. So let's get the ghost in there. All right, look how cute. She's so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make the ghost probably more medium to small sized. So there's one, I'm gonna duplicate it. And I'm going to probably only put between 3 and 5. Anything more than that will start to not really work. And I might even just leave it at the 2 for now, because when we go to move around stuff, we will see where there's space. I promise we'll figure it out. So next, also, I know I didn't say so, but I'm sure you guys probably have seen it. I'm not overlapping anything. You absolutely can make designs that overlap, but I would say that's more advanced for further on down the line. The reason why I don't have anything overlapping is because if we mess up, if we need to move things around, we can easily grab them with our selection tool and easily move them. Do I have a degree in graphic design? So I went to school, I did not finish, I did 3 of 4 years, but I went to school for media arts and animation. And then I did do a graphic design business for a couple of years, just based on experience. I did website building and design, and then I did like business cards, stuff like that. But I prefer more like the art stuff more than I do the design part. So okay, so we did the ghosts, and now we're just looking at floral elements. So I'm going to duplicate and move it on up, and another floral design, and move it on up, and this floral design, and move it on up. Okay, let's make those invisible, and now we're working over here. So I have this design with these flowers. I have them here so you can see them, but I'm actually, I'll put them here, but I'm actually just gonna go in and hand paint the rest, because it's just a lot of effort. It's more effort, in my opinion, for these smaller elements to try and figure out exactly how to fit them all in, when really that's easy enough to just hand paint those in. So I'm going to find a couple places that I can fit this one in. And actually, I want them smaller. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Why do I keep doing this? Oh, is it because I'm out of layers? Is that what you're trying to tell me? So I will combine these. I'm fine with that. Okay. Duplicate. There we go. And now I can do this. And like, of course, there are elements of design that you'll use in your artwork, and like this is a great example, but also there's plenty of art skills, right, that transfer to design as well. It's very interchangeable, but of course each one is its own lane and has its own specific areas of expertise. Color theory, composition, all of that's important to both art and graphic design. No, don't do that. That's not what I want. There we go. Okay, and now our last one, and then I'll show you how we're gonna fill in the rest. So we have this floral design. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. And yeah, that fits that area nicely right there. Going to duplicate and maybe do that. Move it down here. And there's definitely going to be times where when you're doing this, you'll miss a spot. That's no big deal. Like, I'm sure there's a spot that you guys are looking at right now and you're going, fill that spot. It's killing me that it's not filled. But we'll get there, I promise. I'm also trying to make sure I'm balancing things out. Like right now there's a lot of pink in here, so I want to make sure that I'm bringing other colors over to this space soon. But first I'm going to show you, we're going to move the design around again so we can look at it with fresh eyes and also see where there might be places that with these smaller and medium elements, we can fill the space differently. So first, let's duplicate this. Okay, so grabbing one of them, I'm going to put on my snapping. And remember, we're going to start with top to bottom. So we're just going to slide this down, make sure it's all yellow. Grab this one, and we're going to go from bottom to top now. Slide, and just make sure we're getting our yellow lines. I believe we are. Before ever continuing, zoom in and make sure there are no weird wonky lines. So it looks good. So already moving this around, you can start to see where there might be space for elements that we don't yet have. I'm going to combine this though and do it one more time. And now we're going to go from right to left and left to right. Yes, just double checking. So now we got the yellow lines. That means it's right where it needs to be. Slide from the left to the right now. We got that yellow line there. Zoom in, make sure, right, the cat's not cut in half. Looks good. Okay, perfect. So now we can actually see a ghost would fit really great in here. Obviously, I don't have a ghost that's whole, so we're going to go back over here, duplicate her, bring her on up. There we go. And I can combine these layers. So I got my cute little ghosty. For some reason, she grabbed something else, but there we go. I'm going to take off my snapping. I'm going to resize her. And then I'm going to find the direction that I want. I think that one would be good. I just want to be mindful of her not overlapping with anything or being too close to any one thing. And this is a really good time for me to show you. So I can create more space easily by just grabbing these and just moving them over a little bit. Right? So that way it doesn't look too crowded. There we go. So now it looks like I have some room here, and I definitely have some just areas like here and whatnot. So this is where I can decide how I want to fill this space. I'm gonna go with white and black floral and maybe some of the, so I made a similar design over here. And I guess I would call these like dandelion pieces. So I'm going to do black flowers, white flowers, and these little dandelion pieces. And like, keep in mind, right, this is what we started with. These were the, you know, elements, and like now look at how cute this design's coming together. All right, so I'm going to do a new layer, and I think I'm going to try, I don't want to compete too much with all of the different colors. So for the dandelion piece, I'm going to use this very muted pink so that it definitely adds depth to the piece, but it's not competing too heavily with all the other elements on the page. Right, it's soft, it's subtle, but it's there. So wherever there's like a bigger space, I'm going to put that. And then once I have that down, then I'm going to go in with those little black and white flowers. I might even add some of these stars around as well. That might be cute. So I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I feel like now it's starting to fill out nicely. It's not going to be overfilled, but it's not going to feel like awkward nakedness. There we go. Does not have to be perfect, just trying to fill in the spaces. This would be a good spot. I'm going to turn it like I would in art paper. Just a little one. No. Little right there. Okay. And then I'll do one here, and then I'm going to start working on those flowers. And I might change my mind about where I've placed things, but so far, you know, it's working. Okay, so white for the flowers, and then I'll do black little, instead of maybe black flowers, I'll do these. Because I don't want too much black to compete with what's already here, but I think these are small and subtle enough that I could get away with just adding them in cute little patches here and there. Just do like little white dots to just sort of suggest flowers, but not have them have to like draw all of them in. Okay, now let's try out this star idea. If I can even draw it. For some reason, I don't have a steady hand today. Some days that happens. Why? I have no clue. Oh, I think that's cute. I think that's cute. Yeah, I think it could just use like maybe one more like here or something. But it's cute, I think. Because I am struggling so much with this smaller shape, maybe it's because I'm just impatient to like draw it. I'll probably just copy one and then just put it around the board so you guys don't have to watch me struggle so much. All right. So let's do right here and some flowers here. And then I'm just going to grab these. That is what I shall, nope, that is what I shall do. And I'll just move them to places that I think they'll look, and I can erase anything that I don't feel is like working for the space. So for example, if I wanted to do some here, just want to place it where I like it, I'll just erase whatever isn't working. So those overlap too much, so just erase. And now it's done. Although I don't actually think I want that there. I want them more spaced out. Let's see, where else can I put you? Maybe in this space. Okay. I'll figure out that last spot soon. Go back to my white flowers. I could also do leaves if I feel like there's still some like need of small elements. So yeah, I mean, this part's gonna be, it's pretty self-explanatory, just looking around. This might take a minute, so if you guys have anything you want to talk about, feel free to mention it in the chat. And so these flowers have black and these don't. I'm gonna try the black on these. think I like the black better. What do you guys think? Black or the pink? Ooh, most favorite thing to draw? Nature. I love drawing trees. In general, though, like regardless of the subject matter, my favorite part of any painting is lighting. I love painting lighting. These don't really have much like lighting. These are, you know, flatter designs, but I like lighting is my favorite. I love like this dark orange glow with this warmer light yellowish glow. I really had fun with like creating this glow and like the glow of the candles. For this one, I loved painting the lighting here, the lighting for like up here details, and then the portal. Like those are I love painting lighting, and it doesn't matter what my subject matter is. Like lighting, I love having like highlights, like spots that really stand out. Those are fun for me. So, like, yeah, lighting. I could have pushed the lighting on this one more, but I just like lighting. There we go. My iPad wants me to stop adding projects to it, and I can't blame it. I think I want the black. If you guys have a different opinion, though, let me know. Thankfully, it's not too difficult to make these changes. I think the black looks good. Yeah, I think that balances it. I think it needed that. Oh, pink looks best. Okay, okay. We are at an impasse. I'm sorry I asked your opinion and then I was like, nope, I'm doing it. Okay. Any other opinions? Anybody else have a thought on this? There's no wrong answers. It's just preference, right? I'll just leave the center of those flowers blank for now until we get some more feedback. Okay. Maybe do like one there, there. There. My goal is definitely to do a live tomorrow. If I can, I would love to. Assuming all is well in the world, that is my world at least. Yeah. Yeah, ideally I would like to go live once a day if I can. I just think it's good for accountability, community, you know. Also, and no pressure, but I am trying really hard to monetize so that I can support my family, like contribute to the household in this way. So if after the live, at any point today, if anybody has an extra spare moment and they want to check out one of my tutorials, that would be awesome. But no pressure. I just appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. thankfully we are almost done. So we will be able to, I'll show you guys the next step, which is basically the final step before, you know, final touches, and then we're done. Just checking and seeing if there's any like last minute areas that need just a little extra design in them. Okay. And I always recommend take a, you know, when you think you're done with your project, step away and then, you know, at least give yourself like an hour away from it. No looking at it, just give your eyes a break. So that way you can come back with fresh eyes and see if there's anything else that you need to adjust. So for now, because I'm definitely going to try a paper one with one of your tutorials. Awesome. Thank you. I hope that it's helpful. I am going to do black, but just know I support your choice of pink. Like in spirit. I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I support you, but I'm doing the opposite. I just mean like, I think both look good. But since I have majority painted in black now, I'm just gonna go with it to finish this up. Okay. No, that's no. There. And there's one down. Oh, sorry, I scared myself. There we go. Okay, so now, right? Now we're gonna do the next step just to see, make sure everything's combined now. They're all in one layer. We're gonna do what we did before to repeat it. I'm going to grab, make sure I have snapping on. I'm gonna go from top to bottom, bottom to top. So we're gonna move this. It was yellow. Do this again, make sure it's all lined up, yellow. Before I do anything else, zoom in, make sure there's no weird funky lines, looks good. So even just moving it from top to bottom, bottom to top like I did, so far it looks good. I'm not seeing any areas that are in desperate need of attention. It looks pretty balanced. So now we're gonna duplicate this layer and we're gonna move from right to left, left to right, in any order, as long as you're just doing it consistently. You just want to do opposites. Okay, I'm going to zoom in, make sure there's no wonky lines, looks good. Combine. And upon looking, I think maybe just something here would be nice. Maybe something here, maybe something here. So, let's see. I'm thinking maybe this, grab this, copy, paste, move it over, maybe even shrink it a bit. There we go. Okay. Okay. I definitely think this needs probably another flower up here. And then just do some dots. Okay. think that looks pretty good. All right, so now I'll show you how we make it into an even larger pattern, and then we're done. So this is our final product, so to speak. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to bring one of the copies down here just so that way we have it in case something goes wrong. So now we have this. We want to make sure we have 4 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Grabbing the one at the bottom or the top, just be consistent, whichever order you want. We're going to grab layer 2. We're going to do our transform, uniform, have snapping on, and in this one you can even do magnets, and it's going to snap into place there. Next layer up, we're doing opposites, so this corner to that corner. Okay, next one, top corner to bottom corner on the opposite side, and top corner down to the opposite. And now we have a repeating pattern. So if we wanted to, we could even go in from this point and even rework some of this so that it's a little bit more sporadic. And so that way when we even made an even bigger extension of the design, it would look even more like random and not nearly as like patterned. Meaning that if I wanted to, I could take this book and I could technically flip it the other way. I could, you know, maybe move this flower in a different direction so that way when these two, right, are patterned, this one would be in a different direction or slightly altered. So you could definitely go in and make it even more randomized, or you could just keep it like this and keep it simple. So combine those, and now we've got that. So gotta bring this up here. There we go. And now we're done. Okay, I'm gonna take a lunch break. I'm going to try and go live on TikTok in a little bit. If you aren't following me there, feel free to, if you would like. And my TikTok is my art, but it's also for my writing. I would like to publish the book that I wrote this last year. I'm not sure when that will happen yet, but I'm working on it. And yeah, so it's just a creative account. It has all the art that I do here, but it also has some additional stuff. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. It's greatly appreciated. Again, if you feel so inclined, make sure you sub and, you know, check out my other content. It helps so much in terms of my account growing. I appreciate everyone being here with me, and please take care of yourselves. Make sure you water yourself, feed yourself, take meds if you got them. I know I do. Make sure you get your rest, and I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow or on TikTok later. Bye, guys.